Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Vladimir Klitschko reportedly has hurt his calf, so he's pulling out the fight December 10th. I was hearing reports that it was going to be Lucas Brown. I know they were still trying to get the Joshua fight situated, so whether it's going to be Joshua or Brown, it doesn't matter. Klitschko's going to be out December 10th. I did hear or see Eddie Hearn on Twitter say that he would still like to fight Klitschko first quarter next year. If Joshua gets past whoever his opponent is going to be coming up, whether it's December 10th or whenever they're going to fight, man. November 26th, whichever date. I believe it's December 10th now. But fight's not going to happen. Now, I've seen another rumor. Yeah, let's go December 10th. That's the day I think they're going to have Joshua fight now. So I've seen another rumor that, and I'll leave this article in the description box. It was from Sky Sports. An article I seen on there, and they were talking about Bryant Jennings. And I know that Bryant Jennings is not rated by the IBF. A lot of fans are saying that, but it's like, cool, but regardless of sanctioning body, I believe that Bryant Jennings is a top 10 heavyweight. Check out my top 10 ranking I just did a few days ago. I have him in my top 10. I know he's coming off a loss. Does he deserve, as far as deserving the fight from his last performance, does he deserve the fight with Joshua more than, let's say, Molina? I wouldn't say he deserves it more. Molina just came off a victory. I know he knocked out an older Tomas Adamek, but he was the betting underdog. Molina was going into that fight. He was down on the scorecards. It was a dramatic comeback victory, and he knocked Adamek out. Whether you think he's an old, washed-up cruiserweight, I picked Adamek to beat Molina in that fight, and he was on his way to winning a decision before he got knocked out. And he's never been knocked out like that. You know, I know Klitschko has got the stoppage over him, but he never been knocked out like that the way Molina did it. You know, so Molina is coming off a win. He is formidable. He did give Areola problems before he got stopped. He did give, he did shake up Wilder a little bit before he got stopped. Show, valiant effort in that fight. So, but, so and then Molina has the IBF ranking to go along with his last fight. Johan Dupa is another name. I know he holds the WBC silver title. He's another name that people were throwing around, saying that he could possibly get the fight with Joshua. So a lot of guys that that I'm hearing people suggest aren't even rated by the IBF, but it's a voluntary defense. We need him to fight. And as long as he's fighting a formidable guy, I'd rather see him fight some guy that's not rated by the IBF, that's formidable, that's outside the IBF rules, instead of fighting somebody in the top 15 at the bottom half, and we're going to be pissed off if he fights that guy. Because I don't want to see him fight David Price because David Price has a ranking next to him. Not for this situation. This is a voluntary defense. You know what I mean? So not for this situation. David Price is a fight that I don't want to see with Joshua. Molina, I think that'd be a good one. Duapa, I could live with that. Jennings, I could live with that. Being Jennings isn't a top 10 heavyweight in my opinion, but he is coming off a loss, hasn't fought since then. But he's been in the gym. He's been staying in shape. I do know that. As far as Lucas Brown and what I think he's going to do next, I guess we're going back to the drawing board. The WBA did order the fight between Lucas Brown and Fred Kendo, but like I said in previous videos, I haven't seen Kendo since his injury. I know he fought Chigaev some years ago. Debatable fight, could have went either way, and they put Fred Kendo in the WBA tournament. He was going to fight the winner out of Chigaev versus Brown. So they ordered that fight the minute that when Brown came back in September when he got reinstated, they ordered the fight between him and Kendo. So I haven't heard from Kendo. The next rated highest guy by the WBA that can be open for a fight is Alexander Usanov, Freza Kendo, and David Haye. I know Haye was reported he's going to just sit out, even though he does have a fight coming up in December, but he's going to sit out and wait for the winner out of Parker versus Ruiz. And what I mean sit out, I mean, not he wasn't going to partake in anything to do with the WBA. But now this situation has opened up. Who knows what he's going to do? But last I heard, though, he's going to be ordered to fight by the WBO, the winner out of Parker and Ruiz for their world title. So he's in a good situation. I don't know. Maybe he wants to, I'm not sure if a contract was signed for that or if he can get out of that or what the situation is with this, man. So I don't know what's going to happen, man. I guess we got to sit back and wait to see what these organizations are going to do. But if you want my opinion, I think Brown is going to fight either Ustinov, Kendo, or maybe David Haye. Somehow, some way, fight David Haye. I think Joshua's going to fight. The names that are being rumored are possible. Jennings said that he's been wanting to fight Joshua since 2012, 2013. So I think that'd be an interesting fight with Jennings, man, because he got an 84-inch reach. I just wish Jennings would use his reach a little bit more, man. Guy with 84-inch reach like that, you would think the jab would be the first thing that he would establish in his style as far as, offensively and defensively, keeping the guy off you with the jab. He doesn't pump his jab enough. He wants to get inside and mix it up. I know he's a fighter by nature, you know what I mean? But I just wish he would pump his jab a little bit more, well, a lot more than he does. And he's still learning, man. He kind of came onto the game late. He is a late starter, but he has some tools there. He isn't the tallest guy. He is still 6'3". He isn't short. You know what I mean? But he's not a giant, but he has that long reach, and he is in phenomenal shape. And he seems like a tough dude, man. And he's willing to go to war. He did stand up to Klitschko for 12 rounds, man. Although he got stopped by Ortiz, he had some good moments in that fight, but Ortiz pretty much dominated that fight. Jennings took out Spilka. He had a good fight with Andre Fedosa, which I think is an underrated fight. Fedosa showed a tough chin in that fight, man. That was a good fight for Jennings. To me, that was a quality win. Fedosa was actually rated by the WBA. So I don't know, man. You guys, let me know what you think. I covered a lot in this, but what do you guys, what do you want to see Joshua do? Who should he fight? And who do you think they're gonna, the WBA is gonna pair Lucas Brown up with? I'm thinking the Kendo, but. Let me know what you think in the comment section, man. I'm out. And do you think that Vladimir Klitschko, do you think the injury is real? Do you think he's just doing this to get out of just fighting Lucas Brown? Or, it's hard to tell, man. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.